welcome and thank you for taking the time to be a part of our webinar today. I'd love to introduce to you the Oregon UAS Accelerator and Percy, our Pegasus. And Percy is our symbol, and we think that she accurately represents who we are and what we do here in terms of supporting founders who are accelerating the future of autonomous aerial and robotic systems, both in the air and on the ground. And so what we're really here to talk about is completing your application for the Oregon UAS Accelerator Summer Cohort 2025. And really our mission and vision have always been to empower UAS startups like yourselves with funding, resources, a state-of-the-art facility to give you the very best chance at success in a burgeoning and very competitive industry. So what we'd like to talk about today is we'd like to give you an overview of the accelerator, who we are and what we do, the program details and benefits if you're accepted into the program, the eligibility criteria, which is incredibly important, some of our alumni success stories from previous cohorts, as well as the application process and next steps. So who we are. Our mission, first of all, is to empower, as I mentioned, startup innovators and provide you with non-dilutive funding, mentorship, and world-class resources in order to take your visions and transform them into market-ready solutions. We are located in Pendleton, Oregon. If you don't know where Pendleton is, it is in the northeastern part of Oregon. It's a pretty rural part of eastern Oregon, a sea of wheat fields as far as the eye can see. But guess what? We're in the very best place to test unmanned aerial and robotic systems. And we are a center of innovation excellence. I'll get into this in a moment. We have been designated by the state of Oregon as a center of innovation excellence. And we're the only center of innovation excellence that focuses on accelerating the future of unmanned aerial and robotic innovation. And so there are 5 centers of innovation excellence in the state of Oregon, and they range from, there's the Center of Innovation Excellence, OMIC R&D, that focuses on additive and subtractive manufacturing. There's OBIO, which is the Oregon Bioscience Incubator. There's ONAMI, and then there's the Hillsborough Chip Initiative. So these kind of make up the 5 centers of innovation excellence here in the state. And by the way, we receive very, very generous funds through our partners. Our partners at Business Oregon. Business Oregon is the funding arm for the state of Oregon, in which we receive a very generous grant that allows us to support the startup ecosystem in aerial and robotic innovation. Their money comes from the Oregon Lottery. So we are a center of innovation excellence that's funded through Oregon Lottery dollars that come to us through Business Oregon. We have a very special partnership with the Pendleton UAS Test Range, and I'll get into that in a moment, but they are the preeminent test range in the country, in my opinion, and you'll understand why once I describe who they are and what they do. And of course, we receive very generous support through the city of Pendleton, in which we're located. And so we have sponsors. A lot of our sponsors come to us. Some are local, some are not. Flight House Engineering is an organization that kind of flies under the radar, but they've done great things. They've worked on Boeing projects, on Airbus projects. They're kind of the BASF of of the autonomous industry, in that you may not know who they are, but they generally are providing some pretty critical parts and innovation within whatever is flying. Autodesk is a strong partner of ours. They provide our innovators with free access to their software solutions, including Fusion 360. AUVSI Cascade chapter here, the Association of Uncrewed, in their case, Uncrewed Vehicle Society International. They're a partner of ours. Clarify Consulting, Infinetics, Sigma Design, and Sage Techs, just to name a few of our sponsors who provide us with funding in order to help our innovators succeed. And so what sets us apart? We were very deliberate in creating this startup accelerator. We host 2 cohorts annually. And so we have a cohort that just began in March, and 5 startup innovators, and they will end at the end of May. And then we have, right on their coattails, we have our summer cohort, which we're here to talk about today, that starts June 9th. And your 12 weeks in Pendleton will end September 10th. It's a 12-week, very immersive program. And what I'd like to highlight about the program is that we know that all of you are very technically sound, but can you say the same thing about how sound you are as a business, how adept you are at recognizing great investment, and how are you able to secure either DoD or NSF SBIR grants to allow you to extend your financial runway and do more research and development and collect more data. And I'll get into that in a moment. What sets us apart is that at the end of every cohort, at the end of every 12 weeks, we put together what we call our Pendleton Investor Roundup. And it culminates as a graduation from our program, but it brings together a room full of strategics and accredited investors who are looking to increase their deal flow by funding startups who they deem as investable companies. And so generally speaking, we have about 25 accredited investors, strategic partners. In total, the event hosts about 150 people in groups. This program is an on-site immersion, so it's not a virtual accelerator. And so we don't allow you to join this program virtually. There is one exception. We understand that startups are busy. They wear multiple hats. They're multitasking, often. And so if the founder is not able to be on site here for the 12 weeks, we require that technical team members are here on site working for 12 weeks to allow you to overcome a lot of the technical challenges or the planning that you intend to submit to us and what you intend to achieve over the 12-week period. But again, I want to be very clear that this is not a virtual startup accelerator. It's an on-site accelerator. If the founder is not here in person, Thursdays are designated as our classroom time, in which you will be required to participate in an hour and a half class on business and investor readiness, as well as an hour and a half on SBIR grants, how to secure grants, how to write them, how to integrate those grants in your budget. We have webinars that you'll be required to attend. And most importantly, you'll be required to attend virtual one-on-one sessions with our expert mentors to help you work through a lot of the strategies that you have in your pitch deck in order for you to make very compelling and cogent pitches to investors and to strategic partners. So in total, you're probably looking at 6 hours to 8 hours a week of time that you'll need to invest in our curriculum, in our webinars, and in our one-to-one sessions with our expert mentors, which I'll get to that in a moment. And so the program itself, as I said, so think of us as a finishing school for startup innovators in this ecosystem. We know that all of you come from very focused academic fields. Generally speaking, most of our founders are either computer scientists or engineers, either aeronautical, mechanical, electrical engineers, maybe even all of the above. And so, like every school, there has to be a really strong curriculum as its backbone, and we're no different. And so we have a curriculum that's built around making you better business people, giving you the ability to understand good investment opportunities as opposed to bad ones. We also have the nation's only 12-week intensive government SBIR grant curriculum designed to help you find grants for your business and how to apply and correspond to those grants for success. And again, our grant curriculum is built around NSF grants as well as DoD grants. We provide expert mentorship. We have an expert mentor team that will help you work through some of the strategies and how to articulate those strategies, everything from your business model to your market opportunity to your unique value proposition. All of these things will be sussed out by our mentors. And then, of course, we leverage the capabilities of the tremendous capabilities of the UAS Test Range. And if you're accepted into this, and we'll go through the award package, the test range provides 6 months access to all of the capabilities that they have, which are, again, once you see it, you'll understand why it's so important. This is our team internally. I lead the team. Chris, who's on this call, is our Chief Marketing Officer. Andrew, who will be joining us here, is our Operations Manager. Robert is our AI ML engineer. Keith is our business advisor, and Ella is our executive assistant and receptionist. And then this is our expert mentorship team. We're really proud about our team. I can just throw out a few, important team members here. Nathan Lilgard is our business instructor, curriculum development. He is currently an instructor at the Entrepreneurship Center at the University of Oregon. Dr. Mary Phillips is our non-dilutive grant writing specialist who will lead you through that 12-week intensive grant program. Mark and Tom, our team, they focus on investor readiness and pitch development. They're great guys. They are actually if you draw a line across from Tom, Mark, and Adrian, these three individuals work together. They'll work in tandem with you. Adrian is a graphic designer, but he has a specialty in developing pitch decks. And so when you're working with Mark and Tom through all the investor readiness questions that they have, Adrian quietly sits by and starts to determine how we can visually represent your innovation to investors and strategics. Dr. Mujib, down here in the bottom left, he is a mechanical as well, a master's in mechanical engineering, a PhD in electrical engineering from Caltech in Pasadena. Tremendous resource when it comes to technical innovation. He's a world-renowned specialist in microsizing components. Howard Skast is our internee in residence He graduated top of his law class at Princeton University. He has an engineering degree from Duke, and he also led IP and patents for Intel Corporation. So a tremendous resource. Dan Fuller is our technical mentor in residence, formerly in situ executive. Now he is our technical mentor in residence, and he hosts a pool of 25 or 30 technical mentors who work with you to help you solve technical challenges, everything ranging from coding to combustion to batteries to composites. He does it all. And then Brandon Quartercracks is our venture coordinator. He's based in Washington, D.C. His job is to make those warm handshakes and advocate for you to aerospace and defense contractors and investors based on the East Coast as well as on the West Coast. And so, as I mentioned, we have this very symbiotic relationship with probably one of the most capable test ranges in the country. Our test range is 14,000 square miles of testing area, accommodates technologies that let you navigate through both air and land. I can give you an idea of these certifications that we have. We are laser certified. We are also swarm certified as well. Although our current MSL is 14,000 feet, we intend to expand that to 25,000 feet. You can achieve speeds up to 250 knots. And really, our test range is designed for very broad applications that you bring and want to test here. We have about 50 different microclimates ranging from 300 feet above sea level all the way up to 15,000 foot snow-capped peaks within 30 minutes from here. Abundance of flora and fauna. Chris, next. Yeah. And this is our range team, very capable team. Daryl Abling leads the team. He's a 28-year veteran of Northrop Grumman, worked on the B-1 just a wealth of knowledge. Steve Lawn's our chief engineer, and Eric Schmidt is our operations deconfliction specialist. And so this is what you get. I mean, this is the award package that you get for, if you're selected to be a part of our summer cohort. And it's pretty extensive, but in general, it's over $165,000 combined value award that, again, is non-dilutive. And for those of you who don't know what non-dilutive means, it means that by participating in our program, we're not asking for any equity, no cost, no fee, no catch whatsoever. This is really to help you be successful. So not only do we provide a non-dilutive cash grant, but our in-kind services, our test range services are pretty incredible, ranging from 6 months of free flight testing support, which is equal to about $75,000 if you were to pay that to an external organization. We have dedicated intern support, which I'm very proud to say. We work with local universities, their engineering departments, their computer science departments, and we match interns who have capabilities that align with what your needs are while you're here. And then, are you a fit for our program? Our program is extremely competitive. And so we do have requirements that you need to meet in order to be considered a viable candidate. One of those programs is, are you at a TRL level of 6 or higher? And you have a validated MVP or concept or prototype that you're ready to actually go and test on our test range. That's critical to highlight, because you have 12 weeks here as a part of our program, and we don't want you to spend 6 weeks trying to figure out how to fly. we actually want you to come here and get set up in the very next week or the very next, sometime during that week to go ahead and go out and test your innovation on this very capable test range. Again, it's an on-site immersion. It is not virtual. So as a founder or a co-founder, if you're able to be here, you need to be here for the 12 weeks. The 40,000 that we provide you as a part of the grant award in some ways is a living stipend for you to be able to rent an apartment, pay for your food, so on and so forth. If you're not able to make it here, you need to be able to send very capable proxies from your team. Generally speaking, employees that you value that have some type of decision-making capability within your organization. And then, we want to see that you have a solution, either an innovation or an integration that will significantly, impact the UAS and robotic marketplace.
Basically, we were able to accelerate the development of that from what would probably take 6 to 8 months down to just 3 months.
The Pendleton UAS range, absolutely top-notch. I can't, foot stomp this enough. Extremely easy to work with.
The interns that we were provided with here made it impossibly important impact to us, for sure.
When they talk about proven in Pendleton, it is a real thing, and I would definitely encourage them to give it a shot.
The investor event, again, happens on Wednesday, September 10th. It happens and it coincides with, I would say, the best rodeo in the country, 11 years running. So it's a very special time. We celebrate your graduation, and you have an opportunity to get up on stage and pitch how far you've come in the 12 weeks and get investors interested and strategics invested in your innovation.
So if you guys are interested in applying, which I think all of you may be, simply OregonUAS.org. You want to go directly to the page, OregonUAS.org/apply. You want to complete the application, be as thorough as you can. Upload any decks that you have, any video links showing your innovation in action. There's the ability for you to add all of that in there. Tell us about your team. What'll happen is we do an initial review of that application to make sure it meets the accelerator requirements, specifically around TRL level commitment, and that you're in the spirit of what the accelerator is. Our team will reach out and do a business review. So that line Joe showed you with Tom and Mark, you'll probably hear from one of those guys where they'll want to talk to you a little bit about your business viability, where you're headed, fill in any holes that were missing in the application. Post that, there'll be a technical review. That depending on the level of information you've provided, that may happen internally, or you may be contacted with some questions, where our technical team, along with the range, will make sure that yes, everything that you're able to do and you want to test is able to be done on the range. What we do is we then shortlist down to a limited number of innovators that have really hit scores and made through those qualifications. And then if that is a tight group, what we'll do is we'll schedule a group interview with you where you have the ability to pitch why you should be selected as a member of the accelerator. And from there, our team internally will make the final selection. Application deadline is this week. So you have the end of the day, Pacific time, 1 to 25th to get your applications in. And Joe, if you got anything else, otherwise I'd love to open it.
I just one thing, and I want to be clear about this again. We are an accelerator. We are not an incubator. And so if you're at the stage where you're still kind of back of the napkin, ideation, iteration, I think this is going to be a business, we're not the right program for you. We're an accelerator. And so that's the reason why we have the TRL level at 6 or higher, because all of the innovators that we've accepted into the program have an MVP. They're ready to go out and test. In many cases, they've secured funding through maybe friends and family or a small seed round or a grant. And now they need the mentoring and the coaching and the technical advice to help you scale up and commercialize your businesses. So with that, I'd like to open it up to any questions that you might have.